This is Kerrigan and Company. I have to tell you, folks, I think lighting in your home is one of the most important things that you can do to keep the house updated. And when I need new lighting, I head to Lucia Lighting and Design. Their spectacular 10,000 square foot showroom inside a beautiful mansion in Lynn, Massachusetts is decorated with both architectural and decorative lighting in every single style. From crystal and traditional to contemporary and modern, the selection is absolutely unmatched. Whenever I'm looking for new lighting, as I mentioned, I head to Lucia Lighting and Design. And when I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking for, I rely on the expert guidance of their design team. I know that they can help me. Learn more and book your appointment today. It's Lucia Lighting. Hi, everyone. This is Kim. Authors, reality stars, TV stars, we've got it all. This is Kerrigan and Company.
Kerrigan and Company is here for you. Yes, Kerrigan and Company is here for you.
Hey, welcome everybody to Kerrigan and Company. So glad you could be with us for this edition. We got a great lineup today, and keeping me company is someone who certainly recognizes a camera, that is for certain, and knows how to work a camera. Maria Sansone has been an Emmy Award-winning television broadcaster. She's an entertainment reporter. She's a lifestyle reporter. She is an unbelievable influencer. She's an author, and she's also a mom, and she's my neighbor.
Fun fact.
So put that in your pipe and smoke
Yes.
it. Hi, good to see
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. So I thought, wow, I'm really worried about Maria getting here. You know, I hope she knows how to get here, whatever. And then I find out from our one of our producers, engineer, that you've been in this studio before. You're
around.
a regular here.
You know, I'm a podcast girl. I'm a TV girl. I find a studio. I come wandering in. Yes, I have been here before. And it's great. And it was so funny how we ran into each other.
Should we share that story with people?
I've been booked on the podcast for a while now. Mm-hmm. And then I go to this fabulous event in town. I love the Kentucky Derby. I love a dress-up moment.
You called it, I saw that you referred to it as a holiday.
It is, yeah. It's like a holiday for me.
I love that Kentucky Derby holiday.
The food and the costume and the sport of it all. I love it. I love it so much. Anyway, I go to this great event, and my husband's parking the car, and I see this fabulous woman pull up in this fun little like vintage car. And she's got this great hat and this beautiful matching outfit, and I thought, wow, she's got it together. And wasn't it Kim?
It
comes sauntering up in her outfit, and I go, I love this outfit. And I think at some point we put together.
We did.
Oh.
Yes, who we
know
were.
Each other.
I was wearing a hat so large that my husband was driving on an angle to stay in the car. And if you see any of the pictures of me at this event, either people are standing under my hat or I have to be on the end because my hat is so large.
Go big or go home, baby.
Listen, let me tell you, it's the only day of the year that you can sort of get away with that, but it's so much fun. I have to tell you, we're going to back into who you are because she has two extremes, and I want to explain this to you. She was at one point, Maria, was at one point named the youngest reporter in America. At 11 years old, she had a reporting gig.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And I realized that was just 10 years ago.
Right.
But having said that, she is most recently an author, which is so exciting. And now I'm going to tell you something that I haven't told you since you've been here in the studio.
I love a secret.
I made one of your recipes last night.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
What did you make?
Yes, I did. I made the enchiladas.
Oh.
Put the
whole
spinach.
Enchilada.
With the chicken and the spinach
and the black beans.
The black beans.
Yes.
Lots of sour cream. You say your family loves sour cream.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
And it was fantastic.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, I'm so fun.
glad. I brought you a copy now.
Oh,
a
thank
signed
you.
copy so you can have it
So
forever
let me
and
show
ever.
everybody the book.
Yeah.
And it's, Maria, the whole, first off, the name of it is just off the charts. What is for dinner?
Oh, shit, what's for dinner? Yes, I think we're in the place where we can say that.
Yeah,
in the
think
podcast
we are in
world.
a place. You bet.
On broadcast TV, we'll say, oh, shh, what's for dinner? But the author intended it to be,
absolutely.
What's for dinner?
Absolutely.
Because that's what we're thinking every night.
Well, and you're so right about this, because this is the one thing, even there's a great commercial right now, and somebody is giving the commencement address, and at the end they go, and remember, now that you're adults, you even have to figure out what's for dinner every
Correct.
night. And that is so true.
Night. It never lets up.
And you've got kids.
And I've got kids. So as someone who is juggling a lot of different things all the time and working high pressure jobs and, commuting and stuff like that, I would come home and just think, oh God, I got to do it all over again. And now people need to eat.
Yeah.
So this was the book that I needed. I heard someone say once, you write the book that you need to read. You write the book that you need, and this was the book that I desperately needed. So this is just a collection of my favorite go-to meals throughout the course of my life. And as you read it, I sort of take you through all my travels and life growing up with my grandparents and my parents. And so there's influences from all of that, all put together for a weeknight. Like, how can we really get this on the table in like 20 to 30 minutes, cut the crap, and just feed our family and feel good about it?
Absolutely.
I found that so many women aren't empowered in the kitchen. They're spending a lot of money. They're doing a lot of door dashing. They're just spinning their wheels. And literally, I think it's money down the drain.
Yep.
So I wanted to empower women. I wanted to give them something in their tool belts that they could feel good about, because I don't know about you, but when I am able to make something out of nothing and put together a meal, whether it be for myself or me and my husband or the whole family, it's a win.
It is
a
win.
You feel good.
You really do.
It's an
I agree with that.
endorphin boost.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And what I can tell, because I went through and looked at, some of the recipes before I made the decision about which one I would make last night. Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. And I actually saw you making it with your daughter, your adorable daughter. I'm going to say her name, Grace. We won't say anything more than that. But adorable Grace. And she was so into it, which is fun. So my point being, these are great meals for during the week with things that you have most likely in your fridge. That's where I would frequently run into, that sounds like a great recipe, but who has that ingredient just unless you've gone to specifically put it in.
I wanted it to be real accessible, real approachable, things we knew how to pronounce, things we had hanging around. But I will say that grocery shop is the first step. Being a good shopper and having those staples in your house is going to save your ass on a Tuesday night when you come home.
Yes, it is.
Also, another tip, it's great to have the book. It's great to have some recipes in your tool belt, but you need a plan. And you need a plan each week. So at the beginning of the week, I will sit down with my little menu planner. And I will actually devise a plan. Because once I've written it down, it's real.
Right.
And then I can take that to the grocery store with me and have everything I need and reference it as the week inevitably gets crazy.
Sure.
And that has helped me a lot.
Well, and it also lifts the stress, and that's a stress you don't need, right?
Decision fatigue.
Absolutely.
That's a thing. Decision fatigue. What am I making? What are we doing? What am I wearing? It just eliminates that one thing.
It does.
There's
Absolutely.
a reason Steve Jobs dressed in black from head to toe every day, and it was because he didn't want to deal with the decision fatigue that
absolutely.
we women go through
every day,
many times a day.
Right. Starts with our earrings and just works its way right on down.
Its way all the way down.
Well, it's a terrific book. Congratulations!
Thank you.
I know that the reception has been great, and I understand why. It's really terrific, and it's a pretty little book.
Thank you.
It really is.
This was all me.
Oh,
it was all me. The process, and I'm so excited
again because I want everybody to see how pretty it is. It's got just a beautiful finish. It's really a nice book.
Thank you. Yeah. All of it just. It's so funny when you write a book, and I'm so excited that we're going to be talking to an author later because it is a interesting niche little club that you're in. But I went with a traditional publisher, and I was able to publish this book. So I had no idea, no frame of reference, like how much help I would be getting along the way or when it came to the cover or any of it. And it turns out my publisher was very, very, very hands-off, which during the process was terrifying.
Right.
Because all I was given was deadlines. I got no hand-holding, no notes, no nothing. But in the end, I got a book that is 100% Maria, including the cover, including the spine. Even the spine has a story. I wanted that as a nod to Betty Crocker.
Yeah, exactly.
But in a new sort of fresh way.
Yeah.
But and all the recipes in there I think are sort of retro comfort food because I'm sort of an old soul and I spent a lot of time in grandma's kitchen and so you see a lot of that in there. So from the colors to the the print to the graphic, all of it is all me.
Fantastic.
The photos, I worked with a local photographer, and I sat there and we styled the food together with a stylist. Like I was in every corner of that. Every nook and cranny.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it reflects well.
Thank you.
And it's a beautiful book.
That
So
means a lot.
congratulations to you. I'm so happy for you. You came to being an author from a totally different world.
Sure did.
I mean,
The evolution, right?
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And I think it's really great. So let's go back now. We started,
This is
as I
where
said,
we have a lot of similarities.
we certainly
We
do.
are TV girls through and through.
It's true, and I mean, you started your TV gig a lot earlier than I did. At 11 years old.
Yes.
So tell that story.
The accidental TV star, I guess you'll say. So the way it happened for me, I think anyone in this business, it requires talent, hard work, but also a big break. Maybe a couple big breaks, and then what you do with that. And my big break came unexpectedly when I was 11 years old. I was a big sports fan and a huge basketball fan, even though I stood at like 4'0", 100 as I still kind of do.
Yeah.
And I was at a local basketball game with my grandparents, and they had a slam dunk contest for kids where they lower the rim down and they have the kids come out and slam it. And so the kids came out and they sort of were kind of shy and doing their thing. And I, being a huge basketball fan and a fan of Michael Jordan and everything that was happening in the early 90s, I went out there and
not aware of your height.
and not aware of literally anything, Kim.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to own this. So I go out on the basketball court, and it was like my stage. I grabbed the ball, I put it between my legs, around my back, hung on the rim, tongue out, and if that weren't enough, started running around the floor of the, going, let's go!
Cheer for me!
And of course, the crowd goes wild. This little girl, I beat the boys. I won the competition. There was a local reporter there from the TV station. And of course, he's like, I got to grab a clip with this girl. She's just too funny. And so he interviewed me, and he says, really taken aback by how much I knew about the basketball game. And I started talking about the coaching this year and the defense. And he wasn't expecting any of that.
Yep.
And he says he drove back to the TV station that night and thought, we could do something with her. What if she interviewed kids and we started incorporating them into the news? Or what if, and he and I put our heads together, and next thing you know, I landed an interview with Jim Kelly, who was, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. And again, this was the early 90s. This was the Bills' heyday. And the rest is history. It was in Erie, Pennsylvania, just sort of a small town, small market. But what I was doing captured national attention, and really fast.
I bet.
So I went viral before viral was a thing.
Yeah.
But my story got picked up by the Wall Street Journal, which is a whole other story. And when that hit, it all hit the fan.
It all went.
Yeah, I got calls from Good Morning America and The Tonight Show and Letterman, and you had Joan London on. Joan London interviewed me on Good Morning America.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a wild ride.
And was there a time period, obviously you're 11 years old at that point, and there's a whole lot of education yet and a whole lot of things still to go.
6th grade.
Yeah, exactly. But was there a time period that you ever completely stepped away
I did.
from? Yeah.
And it was a banger. So I went on from 11 till 13, pretty hardcore, and while still going to school, still playing basketball, but trying to manage all of it. I was actually
How were the kids? How'd the other kids treat you?
Not great.
Yeah.
Not great. Luckily, I was in the confines of my little parochial school where I had been going to school with these kids for 20, since there was like 23 of us in the class, and we had been together since we were in kindergarten. So they were great, but outside of that, people were bullies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that definitely weighed on me more than I cared to admit at the time.
Sure.
But I was afraid to go to dances. I was afraid to get out of my little circle of my friends. I was just telling my daughter actually the other day that I won like a science competition. I was going to be able to go to states. And I wouldn't go because I was afraid that I was going to get bullied.
People were not
which
going to be nice.
I did.
Right.
But
jealousy is a nasty
so that definitely
thing.
played into it is, especially when you're coming of age. I mean, that's the hardest time anyway. So I'm sure this played into my decision. But when I was 13, I was graduating from 8th grade, that school that I told you about where I've been with these kids forever. So graduation from that school was a really big thing. And I was getting ready to go to high school, and I was going to try to make the basketball team, which was my dream. And I knew I was going to have to work really, really hard and focus. I've always been a very determined, hard worker. And I was scheduled to be on a show called Oprah. Okay? That summer. And it just so happened when we got the date, it was the date of my 8th grade graduation. And all that stuff that came with it. Yeah. So I told my parents, there's no way. I got to do this.
Right.
And they said, all right, listen, if you're going to turn down Oprah, you're a big girl. You got to get on the phone. You've got to call those producers because we had done the pre-interview. We had done all that. You've got to call those producers and tell them that you unfortunately are not going to be able to make it and explain to them the situation. I was afraid to call for pizza. I'm only 13. I mean, even though I'm a big national, you know, sportscaster, I'm still 13. And so I remember taking the cordless phone and going up in the hallway and calling the Oprah show. I may be the only person on earth who ever turned down Oprah.
I know. I know you're the only person I know who ever turned down Oprah.
I know. And I've definitely met a lot of people too. But it was a huge turning point for me because I was a kid and I had a lot of grown-ups telling me what to do and where to go and how we were going to run things. And it was just, we kept getting opportunities. So it was like, yes, yes, yes. And I kept trying to get off the train for a little, but I wasn't able to do that. So this made a big splash. This put me in the driver's seat. This showed my parents and the people around me that she means business. Right. And they backed off. Yeah. And I got to go to high school, and I made that basketball team. Great. Shortest person, I think, to ever play for that high school team. Had a wonderful, normal high school experience, and then jumped back into TV in college. Yeah.
Went on to Syracuse.
Yes.
I have a affinity for Syracuse, and I have chatted about it.
Yeah.
And then you went two places.
No.
You got a master's. Oh.
No, that was it. Cut my master's in the hard knocks of working. Yeah. So what happened was at Syracuse, I had this great career as a kid, and now I'm just a normal college kid. I'm at Newhouse, one of the most prestigious communication schools in the country with hundreds of other people who want to do the thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, geez, I wonder if I got it. Like, was that just a thing I did? Was I just a novelty? Will this really be my path? Or should I be thinking of other things?
This is a test.
Yeah. And my junior year, Kelly Ripa had just taken over for Kathy Lee Gifford on Regis and Kelly. And just shortly after getting the show, she found out she was pregnant, live on the air, if you recall. Well, she shared it live on the air. She found out probably privately. Hopefully. But anyway, she had to take some time off, and they were going to have college co-eds fill in for her. They were looking for somebody. And they put the ask out, and my dad calls, he goes, I think you should make a tape. I said, all right. So I put together a tape, and yada, yada, yada. I got picked to sit next to Regis and fill in for Kelly Ripa when I was 20 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
And when I talked earlier about opportunity knocking and catching big breaks, I got 2, because that was big break number 2. And that was the one where now I'm an adult. I had 1 year left of college, and then it was like,
that's a career launcher.
Let's go.
Right. Absolutely.
Let's go.
Oh, it's great. It's terrific. All right. We have much more to discuss. We have to take a quick break here. We have to pay the bills.
Got to keep the lights on.
Exactly.
I get you.
Dimmed, but on. All right. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more with Maria Sansone as the show progresses. We have a wonderful guest coming our way here in just 2 minutes. So stay with us, everybody. We'll meet you on the other side of the break. This is Kerrigan & Company.
Have you tried Rumson Rum yet? This smooth, sweet, memorable rum is distilled in the Caribbean, barreled aged, and then blended, finished, and bottled in Salem, Massachusetts. Rumson's offers 4 unique blends: Gold, Spice, Grand Reserve, and Coffee. Before you start to sip or mix your next cocktail, ask yourself, do I want to enjoy New England's most awarded rum brand? If the answer is yes, the answer is Rumson's. Get Rumson's rum at liquor stores or ask for it by name at your favorite restaurant. Rumson's. Life lived, life enjoyed.
Don't miss Waitress. With new music by Sarah Bareilles, this musical celebration is the perfect recipe for love and laughter. On stage at Bill Haney's North Shore Music Theater from June 3rd through June 15th. Order up your tickets at nsmt.org.
This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Lucia Lighting and Design, where people in the know go for the best possible lighting and design experience. Welcome back, everyone, to Kerrigan and Company. We're having a great time today, and of course, keeping me company today is Maria Sansone.
Cheers!
Yes, thank you very much. We are so excited because we have the Kerrigan and Company mugs, but when you get merch when you're here, I mean, there's nothing that thrills me more. So, number one, we have your book, which I thank you so much.
You're so
Shit,
welcome.
What's for Dinner? And now we have another fantastic book that I am very excited about. The Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club is the name. It's historical fiction is what I'm going to call it. I think that's a fair thing. And the author is here with us. This is Martha Hall Kelly. It's great to see you.
Good to be here.
She brought us books and she brought us
you.
bags, which
bags
is so,
are so cute.
fantastic. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Historical fiction, I love this concept because, and when I say this, maybe you should tell what that means instead of me, but lots of history in this book, but a plot line that's in your head.
Oh, absolutely. It's all based on true events. My mom grew up on Martha's Vineyard, and so she was there during World War II. And she used to tell us all sorts of amazing stories about the soldiers and the Nazi subs that were circling the island. And I just thought, why not write about World War II here in the United States? Because all my other books have been about Europe.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you have to weave that in. So how long does it take you to put together a book like that? Because you have to fact check, you have to make sure that everything is historically accurate whilst putting together this great plot.
Yes, it is a real challenge. But it took about 3 years, maybe, and I'm always writing my next book.
Not bad.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm always writing my next one while I'm promoting. So already I'm writing my next book. But,
Sure.
About 3 years.
Yeah. But a lot of that history was part of your family's legacy.
Yes.
So that was the beauty, I'm sure, of this, including the book club.
Yes, my mom had a book club on Martha's Vineyard in the 1940s and beyond. And she used to tell us I used to watch them in action. They'd go to the beach and talk about books. And so that inspired the whole book. And her growing up on Martha's Vineyard. She used to talk about the soldiers and how her mom would make warm donuts and sell them for 25 cents a dozen, which I don't know how she made any money off of that. But my mom would sell them out front and of their house on State Road, which is still there. And the convoys would come by with soldiers and they'd stop and buy the donuts. And my mom she was 14 at the time, so she couldn't go to the dances, but she just thought those boys were so handsome. And it was so sad for the whole island when they were training for Normandy. People didn't realize that, but because their coastlines are similar. And when almost half of the boys didn't come home, the whole island was in mourning for them.
Absolutely. You talked about, too, that there was German subs, which this is a part of history I'm not aware of, and not that I'm some kind of history buff, but I didn't realize that the Vineyard had that kind of exposure.
Yeah, well, all up and down the eastern seaboard.
Yeah.
And there were German subs that were, lying in wait, and they were downing merchant ships and all sorts of American ships, heavy losses. But my mom used to talk about going to sleep at night and hearing the subs come up to charge their batteries, the hum of that, and how scary that was. And I just thought, I think that would be the beginnings of a great novel.
Sure, absolutely.
So how long has this one been in your brain? Obviously, these stories are something that you've grown up with, and it's been sort of the fabric of your life. But when did this come to fruition that, I can put this all together?
Well, it's been incubating for a long time. I mean, I've been writing for 10 years. So I got kind of a late start in my 50s. But
came out of the gate, whew,
hot. Right.
New York Times bestseller.
I don't know
with
how
your
that happened.
debut novel.
Yes.
I mean,
Lilac Girls, yeah.
unbelievable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I still am pinching myself about that. I'm not sure what happened, but that was based on a true story as well.
And also historical.
Yes,
fiction.
That's all I've ever written.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I don't know why I didn't think to write this story sooner. But my daughter, one day we were coming back from a winery out in Sonoma.
Good things happen when you leave a winery in Sonoma.
So
Anything that starts at a winery, right?
Yes, exactly. And we were in the back seat, and my husband was driving, and she said, you should write about your mom on Martha's Vineyard during World War II. I would read that, and she's in her 30s. So, and I did, and it turns out she is reading one of the characters in the audiobook. She's an actor in LA. So,
Oh, that's so great.
I know. It was
So
really
a story about your
moving.
mother with your daughter directly involved. Wow. Doesn't get any
Yes,
better
and she's
than that.
pregnant, and she felt
Fantastic.
the baby moving while she was doing it. I mean, it all kind of came full circle.
That's
yeah.
so
And this is just
great.
coming out.
Yeah,
We're right on the cusp here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people can pre-order it now. It comes out May 27th.
Exactly, May
Which is
27th.
next-
Exciting.
Which is next
exactly a
week.
week from today. Yeah. Oh my God, so scared.
So are you doing the big press push?
Yes.
What does that look like for you?
A really big book tour. I'm so lucky. Random House has been wonderful. It's all over. It's East Coast, West Coast. I'm going to Canada this time. I've never been to Canada
International.
for press. Yeah, but a lot of it is on Martha's Vineyard, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm taking 4 trips there. So my sister still has my parents' house. So I get to stay with her, which is really
That's great.
wonderful. But yeah, the island, they're all abuzz about it.
Oh, I bet they are.
My hair salon was like,
Well-
we're going to put it in the front and tell everyone.
I'm
I was
sure.
like, hair salon.
What's the difference? Now, I'm assuming you haven't said, but your mother has passed away.
Oh, yes.
Okay. When you go over to the island now, what's the difference? Obviously you were going over there for all your life. What's the
yeah.
differences that you see? What's different for you than it was for Mom?
Oh, goodness. It has changed so much, even since when I was little. I was born in 1957, so, not that long after the war, really. And it was so quiet. And, I mean, obviously the traffic is, one of the major changes.
Right.
But it still has that wonderful, intimate feeling. And I think she would be very happy with how it is today. They lived in Vineyard Haven, which is a busy hub, but it's always been busy.
Yeah.
And she was always very welcoming. Some people say, they shouldn't let that many cars on the island. They should limit the number of people. And she always said, you have to be welcoming. That's what the island's all about.
The island is also about farming, which a lot of
Yes.
people don't know. Your family was involved in farming.
Yes. My mother's family, the Smiths, came to the island in 1891. And my great-grandfather was Scottish right off the boat. And they started a flower farm. The Vineyard Gazette talked about it like it was, kind of a big deal at the time. So yeah, the house is still there on State Road,
cool.
which is,
Was there
which is really
anything that
fun.
you uncovered through your research about your own family that you hadn't realized?
So much about my mother. Yeah, she was very quiet, but she had a lot of stories. I realized after she passed, because she died 20 years ago, but our good friend, her best friend when she was alive, one of them, she had 2, Shirley Kennedy, she filled me in on everything. She won't tell me how old she is. I know she's in her 90s, but she said people think you're old if you tell them exactly how old you are.
Good for her.
Yeah. And she is still really active, and she told me all sorts of great things about my mother's old boyfriends and how she was, my mom and dad met on the island, and Shirley was kind of joyriding in my mom's car with my dad one day while my mom was at work, and my mom said, no more of that while I'm at work. So let go from a job one time as switchboard operators. She told me a lot that I used.
It's so
in the book.
great. Yeah. That's the bonus, right? Going along with writing this book is maybe learning a little bit more about your family. You also said, though, if I remember correctly, that your mom spent a lot of her life wanting to get off the island.
Yes. That was one of the things, you start with characters and you build them. And Cadence, that one of the two sisters in the book, I gave my mom's quality of always wanted to get off the island to Cadence because I just thought it was really interesting. People say, why would you want to get off of Martha's Vineyard? It's so wonderful. But when you grow up there,
of course,
I think she just wanted to see the world. She was a huge reader. And I think she just wanted to get out there and experience things. So when she met my father, he was in the Coast Guard and came in to the hospital there on Martha's Vineyard. Now it's a museum. He came in for, I'm not sure what he had, but my mom checked his medical records and because he had asked her out. And she wanted to make sure he was, healthy before she went out with him. And
I wish I would have known her mother.
Show me your medical records.
But she fell in love with him, and they had their first kiss there. And before you know it, he took her off the island. Of course, he loved the island so much that when they retired, they came back.
Always come back.
That's always come
back.
back.
The thing about these beautiful pockets in New England, even where we live. My husband grew up in this town that we live in, and he couldn't wait to get out and explore and go see the world. And then, of course, we had kids and come back to New England because what's better?
Absolutely.
It's so true.
I can so understand why your mother would want to get off, though, because I think as a young person that feels very limiting. And she felt like, no privacy. Everyone knew each other, and she was in that situation. I have to tell you, Martha, this is a fabulous book to read any time of the year, but I have to assume it was planned for this to be a beach book.
No, it wasn't.
Really?
Last minute, they moved it because I always have spring books. And so this is my first summer book. I'm loving it. I get to wear, summer clothes and travel around when it's not so freezing.
Great time to be in the vineyard.
Yeah.
So I think the timing is perfect.
And I feel like people have more freedom to, I know I read so much more over the summer than I do any other time of the year.
The cover is just so beachy and fun.
It goes great
retro.
with your outfit.
Thank you. Yes, I love the whole vibe and the whole book club of it all.
Yeah.
I imagine many people will be reviewing your book in their book clubs.
I think they will.
What are some of the things you would like them to be exploring in those conversations?
Oh, my goodness. Well, there's so much to talk about. Of course, the whole book club angle. But I wanted to make it a book club book that wasn't just about them sitting around reading books, because it's fun if you're in the book club, but if you're watching that. So in this book, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but they have to deal with a very difficult situation. There's two sisters, and one of them finds a man washed up on the beach, and they have to figure out what to do about it. So I figured that gave the book club something else to do besides reading.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, it's terrific. And we're recording this on the 20th of May, and it will stand for a while. So we want people to understand how to get hold of it. If you're watching this today on the 20th, you're going to need to pre-order. But after the 27th, I am assuming that people can find this book in many different locations.
Everywhere, really. At your local bookstore, which I always like to promote the independent bookstores. But it'll be everywhere. Yeah. Hopefully on people's beach towels, too.
I know.
100%. And now I want to go back and read Lilac Girls.
A lot of people are doing that before the book comes out. Yeah.
If you have not had a chance to be exposed to Martha's books, be sure you take a look and you check, because I think you're going to really enjoy the way she writes. And these are great books for all summer long or all year long. But this one's exciting. Martha's Vineyard is a place that all of us here obviously know, and we might know it intimately, but people all around the world know Martha's Vineyard, and they have a real I'm not from originally here, so I know there's this idea. It's very idyllic in their minds, which it is when you get there too. But I mean, I think it's great that you have an opportunity to read a book about a place that a lot of people want to visit. So
it's a lot of fun. Book clubs are going out there for that reason, and they're reading it on the island while they're there, which is super fun. Yeah, I know, it's going to be fun.
So I'm going for the very first time. Yes, I'm going for the first time in a month with 5 girlfriends.
No way.
So if you have any tips,
I will tell you where to go.
tips and tricks or
Totally.
must-dos.
I've got a map for you that will show you all the spots in the book.
Yeah.
And there's so many fun things to do.
Yeah.
And it's just you and
The
girlfriends?
girls, yeah.
Oh.
I live for a girls trip. Yeah.
Look out.
Yeah.
That's going to be
And planning
so
all
fun.
the preppy wardrobe has been really fun.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell you
Quintessential.
shopping-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
The,
yeah.
the shopping is fantastic.
Well, I'll have a really cute tote to bring.
Oh, do you?
Yes, put it right on the ferry.
Excellent.
Martha Hall Kelly, thank you so much. Continued success. When you write this next book, now we can't say anything about it, but she gave us a little insight here in the studio. And when she writes the next book, she has to come back too. And then I probably will chain her down to the desk and make her give me all of her telephone numbers when it's all said and
I
done.
can't wait.
It's very
very
exciting. It's really
juicy.
terrific.
Yeah.
So good for you. But again, everybody, it's the Martha's Vineyard Beach and Book Club. Be sure you check it out.
Thank you.
This is Kerrigan and Company. Longer days and warmer weather mean more time to spend outside. Are you ready to extend those days even longer with effective and efficient landscape and outdoor lighting? If so, Lucia Lighting and Design in Lynn can stretch your summer days by helping to create beautifully well-lit outdoor living spaces. The lighting experts at Lucia will work with you to plan a space that's bright, comfortable, and secure. It'll be so great you might never be inside. Get started by going to lucialighting.com, then make an appointment to visit their beautiful showroom in Lynn, Massachusetts. That's lucialighting.com. Hey, have you heard about the incredible contest we're running? The amazing psychic medium, Candace Dalton, is offering a free reading for one lucky Kerrigan and Company follower when she co-hosts the episode that we record on May the 27th. Now, if you're interested in connecting with a loved one who has passed, then you have to act fast. To enter, go to our Instagram or Facebook account, and you'll see a video that Candace and I recorded. Simply tag 3 friends in the comments section and subscribe to the Kerrigan and Company channel on YouTube. You have to enter by 6 p.m. on Thursday, May the 22nd. One lucky winner will be selected at random for a reading by Candace Dalton right here on Kerrigan and Company. Remember, enter by 6 p.m. on Thursday, May the 22nd. Good luck. This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Bill Haney's North Shore Music Theater. Get your tickets to see the hit Broadway musical Waitress, playing June 3rd through the 15th at nsmt.org. Welcome back, everybody, to Kerrigan and Company. Maria Sansone is keeping me company today. Maria, how about that book?
I love
Isn't
it.
that adorable?
Yes,
I know,
I'm
and she's
so
fab.
pumped. Yeah.
She is fabulous.
I know.
New
We'll
York
have to
Times
get her back
bestseller.
here.
I know. When she comes back, we'll get you
Yeah.
back, and we'll.
I would
we'll
love
kind of-
that.
We'll do the whole thing again.
Yes.
Okay. So our next guest. I worked with years ago at Fox 25,
Mm-hmm.
it was Fox 25 then. Jay Bramble and I worked opposite shifts, but we would cross in the hallway, or somebody would work late or somebody
Yep.
would work early. And about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I got a call from a good friend that I worked with who said, Kim, have you seen the promos for a new show on Bravo? It is called Love Hotel, and one of the men on there is Jay Bramble. And I said, what? What?
Was that shocking, knowing him, how you...
Well, I'm going to say this. I didn't know Jay well enough to know whether that would be shocking or not. I was just... Certainly, I was not surprised by the good looks and the charisma.
Oh, I
that he
like
has
this show
always
already.
had.
This episode is good. I like the direction we're
Teeing you
going.
right up.
Jay is with us right now. I think what was just surprising about it, Jay, was just I know you, and you were a contestant on a show like this. And I'm calling you a contestant. That's not exactly
I was a
right.
suitor.
A suitor. I love that.
Well, you should be surprised because that was definitely out of my comfort zone. Didn't see that coming at all. And it's so funny. Yeah, like you said, we used to work together, but you worked that crazy early morning shift, so that's why we didn't see each other. 'Cause I wasn't waking up at 2 a.m. to come to work. But it's a exciting journey. It was nothing that I didn't have on. I didn't have it on my checkbox list.
Right.
In
Right.
2025
Wasn't the bucket list?
to, be on a Bravo reality dating show. But here I am.
You're a dad. You've got a nice job.
Yeah.
You're here in Boston. How does the reality show come knocking on your door?
That's a great question. See, yes, I have all that, but one thing that's missing that you didn't mention was a partner.
Okay.
See, so I got a a DM from a casting agent. I was in New York for business one day, and I got a DM, and I got saying something like, "Hey, we saw your dating profile." I'm on the dating apps, just like the majority of us out there. It's all hell. It's a jungle, but we have to do it. We have to sludge through. That's how you meet people these days. And I got a DM saying, "Hey, we saw your profile. We think you would be really great for this show that we're producing. It's a reality TV show. I would love to talk to you about it."
Were you like, scam?
Yes,
I'm
I
not
was
giving
like,
you my credit
yes,
card.
I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, here we go. Here we go. I was like, I got time
Delete.
today. Let's see what they got to say. But after a few conversations, it turned out, I was like, wow, wait a minute, this is actually legit. And from there, I had further conversations with casting agents, with producers. I had to do virtual dates, so I'd get on a Zoom. I had to get dressed up. I had to pretend I was on a date with producers.
Whoa.
They would record us. From there, it just continued to evolve, and before you knew it, I was on a plane heading to Mexico to the Love Hotel.
Wow.
So that's how it goes down.
Yeah, it was a
Number
long
one.
process.
Yeah,
It was
I'll
a-
bet
Your
so.
DMs.
They had to vet a lot of men.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, they're trying to find men of caliber for the housewives.
Yes.
They expect a certain level of suitor. And so those casting agents, they did a great job because the guys that they picked all around are just great.
Well, I do have to say, now I've been watching it. So as we record this podcast, 4 episodes have dropped. And I want to tell you, it's 4 housewives, for those of you who have not seen it.
Ones we know and love.
Right, exactly.
Or we know.
An Orange County a housewife, a former New York housewife who is one of the originals, and then we have 2 from the Potomac series. And the interesting thing about this, first off, is that it's pretty rare that you have the 4 women who are choosing from men, but they kept there's only 8 of you.
To start.
Right. So you've got 4 women and 8 men. So immediately out of the gate, the women choose a date. And I am on the edge of my seat going, oh, we got to have Jay. He's got to get a date. Because how do you feel if you don't get a date right off the bat?
Right.
And you did.
I did.
You did.
I did. I
And
got a
then they
date.
started knocking men off, and you stayed.
I stayed. I made it. That was really great. That first, again, there's waves of men coming.
Yes.
And there's more men coming. But we were lucky to be in that first 8. And we got an opportunity, more of an opportunity than the other fellas on the show, to really form connections with the ladies.
Right off the bat, too.
right?
Right.
Like, we called ourselves the first 8. We called ourselves the Elite 8.
Yeah.
And we actually formed a bond. It was really cool. And it didn't turn into more of, didn't feel like a competition, because I think all of the men there, we were all kind of rooting and supporting each other, because we're all in this, none of us know anything about reality TV. We didn't know who these women were. This is not what we do. So we were kind of all in this shared experience together.
Yeah.
And instead of competing against each other, we were actually bonding and supporting each other. And it's like, hey, if you find a connection, you find a connection. We're all here to date.
So what's the deal with this one? Like Bachelor, at the end, you're expected to propose. What are the stakes in this one?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the stakes are, it's the Love Hotel, and you get a key to stay at the Love Hotel. And the women decide if they want to give you a key to stay. And at the end of the show, only one key for one suitor for each
Woman.
of the ladies. Right. So, you have a group of men, and you have to dwindle that down to your 4 people. And like you said, there is some drama and complexity to it, because what if 2 of the ladies like the same guy, or 3 of them, or for those who are watching now, all 4 of them like one certain man. So how do you navigate that?
And also, you didn't know these women going into it, so maybe there's not a connection for the guys as well. Like, it has to be a mutual love connection.
Exactly. And I think that's a great point, because, again, we didn't know who these women are, so there's no preconceived stereotypes or just like, oh, I'm going to go meet Giselle Bryant or Shannon Bedore. You're just meeting people. And you're hoping that there's a connection, some shared connection that you have. And if you don't, you don't. If
So
you do, you do.
You weren't like a Housewives follower.
No.
Not.
Yeah.
Listen, if you had asked me to watch a reality show, or if I knew anything about reality shows or a dating show, I would have told you to just leave me alone.
Right.
Which is probably why casting loved you.
100%. Right. Yeah. No, you're just a very genuine person. So let me ask you this. Can someone, in your estimation, go on a reality television show and find a mate for life?
I think you can. And I will tell you this, and I don't think this is spoiling anything, but there were some relationships that were continued after the show was over.
Yep.
So, again,
Not the least of which is just your friendship that you have with
we have
some
a
of
bond.
these people, right?
Absolutely. But there were romantic connections that stemmed from the show.
Yep.
And I think, again, you have to think about it too. Not only for the men, this is a first-time experience, but the women, they weren't. They're reality TV stars, not dating show stars.
Yes.
So they're coming into this very vulnerable and open too.
Yes.
This is new to them.
Right.
It is new territory. You're right. They're used to being a certain way within their group, within like the context of, being a housewife and sort of, I'm sure there's some fanfare that goes into that and a little bit of like entertainment.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
now
and
they
each
have
one
to
of
be
these-
more themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And each one of these women has had a history of maybe not such great luck.
Right. Yes.
So they were very vulnerable, it seemed.
And it's awkward. You're going on dates and, with cameras everywhere.
Right.
And again, you're really trying to just imagine going on a date with someone you've never met and you're trying to see there's a connection and there's a room of cameras and producers all watching you every moment. So like it was interesting, but it was also a really, really cool experience. Really cool.
Beautiful, beautiful resort.
Amazing resort. And we had the whole resort to ourselves.
Yes, it was empty, right?
The whole resort to ourselves.
Wow.
So
You went on your first date and you guys were served a $25,000 taco.
listen.
Excuse me.
Listen.
What does that mean? Is it made of solid gold?
Oh, it was insane. There was gold in there. There was Wagyu beef. There was everything in there.
Caviar,
Yeah,
right.
caviar. But what I could tell you is I could probably say Bravo $24,990, and we could have went to Taco Bell up the street and had the same experience. But it was cool. But that's like one of those things I can go back and say like a little fun fact
Yeah.
from the meeting. Hey,
Absolutely.
I've had a $25,000 taco. Funny story about that taco. So when they served it to us, they were putting in the ingredients as they go, kind of describing what they were. And the taco was in a serving dish that had little pebbles, like little stones in there, decorative stones.
Oh, no.
And while he was serving the taco, somehow one of those stones must have got to my taco. So when I took a bite of it, I almost broke my tooth, but I thought it was like, all right, maybe this is a piece of gold or something in here.
Oh,
Like this is what
my
rich people
God.
do. Like I didn't know. So
$25,000.
I kept chewing it a little bit. I'm like, no, this isn't
is
right.
not right.
And I spit it out, and it was all the dish. Bravo
Isn't
didn't
that
use that
ironic?
part. They didn't use that. They edited that out. But me and Giselle were laughing.
The
It
most
was so
expensive
funny.
thing you ever ate, and it almost
Broke my
sent you
tooth.
to the dentist.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Oh,
It's a funny
goodness
story.
gracious. Oh, that's
I
unbelievable.
hope they should put together some bloopers from this show, like
Yeah.
a blooper reel. There was so many
there
funny
So
moments.
you've just taken the words out of my mouth. So I've never been on a reality show. So is the show molded by the editing? I mean, you and I, all three of us understand editing, right? So is the show somewhat molded by editing? Does it save some people? Does it, what did you think?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the editing, I don't think the editing molds the story. I think the story is the story. Pretty much what we've seen so far is what has happened.
Yes.
I think a lot of times when you think of a reality show, you think it's not really a reality show. People are telling you what to say, what to do.
Right.
That was not the case here. I would say 99% of the time, it's we're saying what we were saying. Like no one's prompting us to do anything. The only time maybe we're prompted is like, all right, we want all the ladies are going to be in this room. We want the gentleman to walk in and then go talk to them.
Right.
Yes.
But there's never any forced situations like, oh, Jay and Giselle, you guys go over there and talk about this.
Right.
So it was very organic. But there's a lot because you got to think about it. We're only 8 episodes in. There's only 8 episodes and there's
3 weeks, right?
3 weeks, and there's 12 people on this show at a time between the women and the men. So that's a lot of content. I mean, we probably each all had a camera for ourselves. We each had microphones. It's a major production.
Yeah.
So to take all that, I feel bad for the editors, to take 3 weeks of all that content
Yeah.
and really dwindle it down to something that's something that consumable for the audience. It's a skill.
How
did you
has it
shoot that?
been Say
it again?
When did you shoot that
We
show?
shot it last September 2024. So it's been a while.
Wow.
It's been a while.
And to sit and watch it now.
Yeah.
What is that like?
Yeah, that's a little. I always have to pour a little drink before each episode. I don't know what's coming, but it's funny. The first episode, the premiere, all the cast, we all got together and we went to. We were in Bel Air.
Fun.
And so the ladies, the gents, we all sat and had a big party and we watched the episode together.
Fantastic.
And it's so funny because, again, this was filmed 6-7 months ago. So you forget a lot of what actually happened.
And you probably don't know some of the other stuff, obviously.
Right,
like
yeah. We don't get to see,
private
we don't get to see what the other
Yeah.
folks said about, in confessional and what we were saying about each other. So it was fun. It was fun. And then, yeah, it's fun to watch. And the funny thing is now my boys, I have a soon-to-be 14-year-old and a soon-to-be 12-year-old, and they want to watch. And I'm like, it's like
Might have to pre-screen.
I got to pre-screen this.
Right.
So,
Right.
I've watched a couple episodes with them and just, making sure it's appropriate. And then they're analyzing my game. They're like, Dad, you should have been this, or Dad, you should have been that. Dad, she called you boring. I'm like, son, just relax, right?
So is this cool? Like, does this give you like dad cred or?
I think it gives me,
unclear.
I'm unclear.
Unclear at this time.
Unclear.
Okay.
We'll see how it all
See
ends.
how it plays
but,
out.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun.
That's fantastic, Jay.
Yeah.
Would you ever go on another reality show?
I think I would have to know what type of reality show. Like, maybe. No, you know what? I never say never. Like, maybe.
Yeah.
It was a cool experience. And again, I think the best part of this experience for me was building the relationships with the crew, the production crew, the talent, the cast. Like, we have a group chat with all the fellas that I can tell you right now, every day. It's worse than like probably a high school text chain. Like, every day someone is texting or chatting or whatever. And I've seen everyone in person, hung out with them in their town since we've finished
great.
recording. Because I travel a lot for work. And luckily, a lot of their locations that I travel to is where some of the fellas or the ladies live. So we'll go and hang out.
I would think that'd be way more competitive with the guys than it sounds like it was.
No, it was a really great group
That's
of guys.
great.
Really
that
genuine,
is.
good
I love
men.
that part of it. It's
I
so
think when
good.
you watch, you can see too.
Yeah.
Like there's just no assholes, if I could say that. Like
No.
everyone's just really down to
I
earth.
love that. Maybe there'll be a spin-off if someone finds true love.
Maybe.
Is there a spin-off perhaps?
There
with
may be
the
so.
happy couple or
Right,
couples?
and what the-
or
what-
is
what's
it
up?
you?
You have to tune in
We
and see.
literally don't know if you found love. We don't know if he's single or not.
No, we do not. No,
Sunday
we do
nights,
not.
9 p.m. on Bravo.
There you go.
find out.
Streaming on Peacock.
The Love Hotel. That's where you find out. Jay, this has been so fun.
No, thank you. This is awesome. Thank you for having me.
It's terrific. You have subsequently, after TV, you went on you've done some really great things, and I'm so happy for you.
Found
and,
your way back to TV.
Yeah,
My way
found your way
back.
back to
Keeps-
TV.
keeps
This
calling,
time,
keeps
this time
calling.
in front of the camera,
Yeah.
right? Exactly.
Which is always awkward. But
We're all TV people. I always say it's like the mafia. Like you never
Yeah,
really
you can
get
never
out.
leave. There's only
you
one
can
way out.
try. There's only one way
There's only
out.
one way out.
Jay Bremble. So again, it's Sunday nights, folks. It's on Bravo, and if you haven't seen it, of course it's there. It lives there, and you can
I have
go
so
back
much
and you can
cheer
and
for.
watch it.
Cheer for
Yeah.
me.
Woo!
Vote for
Cheer
me.
for Jay. We got
Say all nice
4
things
more
to social media about
episodes.
me.
You know what? One of the things about Jay that's a little bit different than the others is that Jay has sort of focused in so far, anyway, in 4 episodes, on one woman. He has interest
right.
in one woman.
Which one?
Giselle. And she is fantastic.
Giselle's
she
fantastic.
is fantastic.
They're all
So,
fantastic. Honestly,
yeah.
like they are
Sure.
all amazing women. I left there with such a great impression of just how fantastic they are.
I'm trying to like read his body language
I know,
right
I
now.
know, I know.
For
but
our listeners,
she's fantastic, and I think
Definitely
that was
lit up.
smart.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So good to see you.
Thank you.
So glad
Thank
you
you.
could be a part of the show. We'll continue to keep an eye on what happens to Jay at the Love
Love
Hotel. All right, everybody, stay with us. So this is Kerrigan and Company.
It's a perfect mix of sugar, butter, and flour. Waitress is the hit Broadway musical baked from the heart with new music by Sarah Bareilles on stage at North Shore Music Theater from June 3rd through June 15th. Order up your tickets at nsmt.org.
Beach season is almost here, and that means we're all exposing a little more skin. Are you ready? If not, you need to make an appointment with my friends at Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa in Beverly. Thanks to their new Clarity 2 laser, they're offering the best in hair removal, photo facials to get rid of those age and sunspots, and how about those spider veins that have popped up? Well, Clarity 2 can take those away as well. Add a facial to your visit and get 20% off. Go to siennaaesthetics.com to make an appointment. That's siennaaesthetics.com. This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa. Take years off your face with the very latest technologies at Sienna Aesthetics in Beverly. Welcome back, everybody. It's that part of the show when we wrap things up, and this has gone so fast and it's been so fun.
So fun.
You have any predictions about Jay? I know
He seemed happy, and he kind of lit up when we were talking about Giselle.
I know.
I was really trying to read the body language.
I know.
Yeah.
I think he really had a good experience, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah.
Because I think that could go one of two ways, obviously.
Seriously.
You're either having a really good experience or not. But I
Yeah.
don't know that means he finds love necessarily.
Right. He had a really great time.
Yeah. I think he found a lot of friendship. That's
We'll have
for
to
sure.
find out.
You have a great collaboration coming up. We're going to chat about that in a second. But first, you have to be our Fast Five victim. You know, we're going to ask you 5 rapid fire questions, and we like it if you can answer them in 30 seconds.
Okay, brain.
So if you are ready, my friend, here we go. What is your favorite recipe from your cookbook? Oh, shit. What's for dinner?
Favorite? It's got to be the Sansone Sunday sauce.
Oh,
Goes way,
Sansone
way back.
Sunday sauce.
Yeah.
Is that Sunday like as in ice cream Sunday?
No, as in supper on Sunday nights.
Oh, I love it.
Italian style.
There you go.
So that one has like the most history and
Great.
Yeah.
All the more reason to buy the
The crown
book.
jewel.
If you could only eat one cereal for a year, what would that cereal be?
Cheerios. Boring.
You can have any fictional character as a best friend. Who would you choose?
Any fictional character as a best friend? Lucy. I love Lucy.
What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Yeah. Besides Kentucky Derby.
I'm a Christmas junkie. Yeah.
And what would the title of your autobiography be?
Slam dunk.
I love that. Well, that was good. That was really good. Start writing right now. You've got a title. You have to work back from there.
Yeah.
You have a collaboration coming up.
Yes, this is like a dream collaboration. So I have been, now that the book is out, having oh shit, what's for dinner gatherings, and I'll do like cooking demos and get women together. And now we're just like celebrating the book and talking about how to use it. And I am collaborating with Kendra Scott. Kendra Scott is opening a new store in the Burlington Mall, and we are having a Maria and Kendra Oh Shit, What's for Dinner celebration.
That's fantastic.
So stay tuned to my Instagram. We're going to do that in June. So
fantastic.
I'm so excited to have them locally, and it's going to be a good time.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Let's tell everybody again. The name of the book is Oh Shit, What's for Dinner? Yes. That's right. That's what it is.
It is.
And some really great recipes. And you can get that.
It's available in all the places.
Yeah.
Again, we love when you shop small. You can find it on my e-commerce site through my channels, but also it's available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all the stores.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Maria Sansone, you have so many great things going your way.
Thank you.
So excited for you.
I'm so glad we got to do this.
Me too. I'm glad. And we'll meet on the porch.
Now we'll have a drink at the club. Yes.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this edition of Kerrigan and Company. So glad all of you could be with us as well. If you have liked it, well, then make sure that you follow us on social and be sure that you subscribe on YouTube. We'll see you again next time. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Kerrigan and Company. To find out who will keep me company and be my co-host on the next episode, be sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Kerrigan and Company is recorded at the Big Night Studios at the TD Garden in Boston. You can view the podcast on YouTube and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure you tell a friend. The executive producer of Kerrigan and Company is David Thompson. Our engineer is Peter Hurley, and our social media managers are Grace Kerrigan, Colby Thompson, and Riley Thompson. See you next time.